First time I ever met Joe Murray was at a Hoot.
All right, welcome in 98.5 The Sports Hub of Joe Murray. We got ourselves a little interruption tonight. The Celtics play their final preseason game. I have some Celtics numbers, odds for you as they play their final preseason game, so we'll get into that in just a little bit. I did want to discuss the Tennessee Titans today. The injury report is out. How will that affect what the Patriots do this week? And, of course, Mike Vrabel, who is doing one of the best jobs in the NFL, but is not the favorite to win Coach of the Year. We'll get into all that, and certainly would love to hear from you at 617-779-0985. You can join us on YouTube. I need to find a place to put all our YouTube listeners when we go to a game, and I'm working on that, everybody. So stay tuned. I'll get you. I know I have a Discord already, but I know some people don't know how to use that, so maybe I'll start up a YouTube channel for you guys in here. But again, we're here till 7:30 tonight, and then we'll hand things over to Grandy and Max, who will be on the call in our opening take, presented by Super Service Today. Day or night, always done right. Visit superservicetoday.com. I haven't sent Skaz the rundown, so I'm going to do it to you right now, Skaz, so you got everything. I've been running around all day. I'll just tell a quick story here. I was doing some memorabilia work before I came in, and this guy comes to me, and he goes, "Hey, you Joe Murray?" And I said, "Yeah, what's up, man?" And he goes, I was just listening to you on the radio from last night with Dan Lifshitz. You guys went crazy. And I go, well, that's how we roll. So I don't really know what happened because I didn't hear it, but I heard it was good. So maybe we'll react to some of it throughout the next 90 minutes as well. And, of course, you can call in 617-779-0985. Mike Vrabel will return to Tennessee. The Titans are among the most dysfunctional in the entire NFL. When you look at all the teams, right, the Titans are up there. Right? When you think of the Tennessee Titans, I think Steve McNair. I think Eddie George. I think those great teams, right? They had great defensive ends, awesome defensive ends over the years. Good linebackers, just really good teams. And then I do remember the Titans with Mike Vrabel, the Ryan Tannehill, the Derrick Henry teams, right? Oh, man, I remember Derek Mason. Oh, there were some really good players over the years. And if you really want to go back, the Music City Miracle, all that. But now they're amongst one of the most dysfunctional in the NFL, and it's a disaster. It's a mess. The Titans have no clear path on trying to even be relevant at this point. They have an owner, Amy Adams Strunk, who inherited the franchise from team founder Bud Adams. That was a mess. In her tenure, half measures all over the place. She's gotten used to firing the people she has empowered to run her team. She fired John Robinson 3 years ago after he never had a losing season. Never. She canned Mike Vrabel a year later, and he became one of the hottest coaching candidates in the league. She's going to see him this Sunday when the Patriots come to town in Week 7. John Robinson's successor, Rand Carthon, got a pink slip just 2 years in the chair. And 1 year after getting a contract extension. And now we can add Brian Callahan, who gets the boot after 23 games. Callahan out. Mike McCoy will serve as the interim coach. And this, of course, has come as former coach Mike Vrabel will be returning to town with the AFC East leading New England Patriots. He's 4-2 this year. The Titans are 4-19 since they fired him. 4-19. The Titans' brain trust had interest in several candidates back in 2024 when Callahan emerged as the top pick. I actually liked the move at the time. I did not like the Gerard Mayo hire. Fair to say, right? Did not like the hire. So Callahan was the OC of the Bengals. He went to a Super Bowl. He was considered one of the top offensive young minds in football. And at the time, they were interviewing Mike McDonald, who was then Ravens defensive coordinator, who's now the Seahawks head coach. They also liked Dan Quinn, who interviewed with the team, but didn't even make the second round. They landed on Callahan. They got it wrong. Vrabel served as the Titans head coach from 2018 to 23. He posted a 56-48 record, including the playoffs. And it included division titles in 2020, 2021, 3 playoff berths, and a trip to the AFC Championship game in 2019 when they beat who? Tom Brady and the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. Vrabel earned AP Coach of the Year honors in 21 and was fired just a year later after posting a 6-11 record in 2023. I remember an interview that Strunk had when there was consideration about trading Mike Vrabel. They fired him. They flat out fired him after a couple bad seasons. She even mentioned there were opportunities to trade. There were willing trade partners, so I'm curious who were some of those people were, but they never ended up doing it. At the time, Derrick Henry, who was their star running back, was surprised and stunned by the Vrabel firing, saying, wow, I'm shocked. He said Vrabel was a leader of men, a great coach and a teacher. I know he will get another opportunity right away. I look forward to it. He then left in March. At that time, the Titans selected Will Levis in the second round. Remember the hype? Ooh, could the Patriots be interested in Will Levis? Ooh. He started 9 games. Then they hired Brian Callahan. They had the 7th pick that year and took J.C. Latham. Fine little tackle, I guess. They had the worst record in the NFL this year, and what did they do? They draft Cam Ward with the number 1 overall pick. Tennessee's offense was the worst in the NFL through 6 weeks, according to advanced analytics. They had an expected points added EPA of negative 73.4 yards. It was 32nd in the league, literally worst in the league. The defense got worn out because they couldn't hold up for 60 minutes. The Titans for years have been irrelevant. Vrabel was making them relevant. Vrabel finished his Titans tenure with a 54-45 record, 2-3 in the postseason. I gave you that. But I wanted to bring this up regarding the Patriots. Patriots owner Robert Kraft stuck with Belichick too long. They had a plan where Gerard Mayo would take over. But let's not forget, Mike Vrabel was out there. They could have made the trade for him. They could have hired him a year ago. He stuck to the promise that he made. They had multiple offensive coordinators here to help Mac Jones. It didn't work. They brought in Van Pelt last year with Drake May. Jacoby Brissett was here. You guys know the story. Rookie quarterback Cam Ward could make them relevant again, but they have to nail their next coaching hire, just like the Patriots have done with Mike Vrabel. I'm not saying things are perfect, but the Patriots don't have to worry about their coach for a while. They don't. That's the difference in the league, everybody. Coach and quarterback. Whether it is the quarterback in the long run, you still need a competent coach that can make decisions, specifically roster decisions. And we know that Robert Kraft struck out. I don't know what the Titans are going to do with their next head coach. To me, I think the safest answer, and people might not like it, is Mike McCarthy. A guy that's had success in the league. Can he work with a young quarterback in Cam Ward? I don't know what they're going to do. But the Patriots drafted Drake May. They drafted Will Campbell. This is what Tennessee did. They tried to do with Ward, Latham, even Will Levis for that matter. Finding the right coach is hard in this league, but finding the right quarterback might even be harder. The Patriots may have lucked out in finding both, because Mike Vrabel has the Patriots clearly relevant once again. And the owner of the Tennessee Titans will see that on display this weekend when the Patriots look to go 5-2 and continue to lead the AFC East with their coach and their quarterback, while the Titans, they're stuck with Cam Ward and irrelevancy, the island of irrelevancy in Tennessee. We'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. The Patriots have the right coach, it sounds like, and they certainly have the quarterback. I did want to get into Mike Vrabel coaching odds. Who has been the best coach in the NFL this year? We'll get into that coming up here on the other side. We'll ask Skaz. We got intern Mark from Curry as well. And I got your betting odds on that. We'll also get into Alex Bregman. He's got suitors as well. And I did want to touch on some Celtics stuff. It's their final preseason game tonight. So we'll have that for you. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports.
Mike, I know you said on Monday some things are important and other things are interesting.
Mm-hmm. You like that, huh?
See, I did actually. Do you also talk to the players about that sort of thing, knowing that they could get amped up for you specifically to try to win this game in Tennessee?
Yeah, we're not trying to win one for the Gipper here. We're just trying to make sure that these guys are focused on improving. And I think that they are. I think they're locked in. And hopefully, we can get them as prepared as we possibly can between now and Sunday.
That was Mike Vrabel. Don't win one for the Gipper. He knows what it's about. He acknowledged the elephant in the room, but they got a football game to win, and they have to be better, right? They need to be better, whether it's at the running game, whether it's stopping the run, whether it's red zone offense. They need to be better this week. And listen, I can give you all the numbers that you want about teams on third consecutive road games. They're not good. I can give you the fired coach bump. It's very good for the underdog. I can give you all those things, and I'm still not taking the Tennessee Titans this week. It would be an absolute huge letdown, and I just think the trust that Mike Vrabel has in the players, and I can give you a list of players. Pop Douglas would be one of them. Ramondre Stevenson would definitely be one of them. Kyle Duggar would be one of them. They're just guys that I think right now have to trust Mike Vrabel. It's just what they probably believe in him at this point, and I'm sure all these free agents that they brought in who got paid all believe in Mike Vrabel. I mean, Christian Barmore has been doing individual workouts after practices with Mike Vrabel, and I'm sure that he wants to help this week. Whether it's stopping Tony Pollard or getting at Cam Ward, I don't think Calvin Ridley's playing this week, right? So just when I think about the Tennessee Titans, they're an awful roster, but Jeffrey Simmons is incredible. And I think Latham is very good as well. But I'll ask this, because I teased it in the crossover with Felger and Maz. Who's the best coach in the NFL right now? You can peek around the league if you'd like, if you need to think about it. But this year, it's not Sean McDermott. It's not Andy Reid. Shane Steichen probably is in Indianapolis. I think Duval, Liam Cohen should be up there. It's not Aaron Glenn. It's not McDaniel. It's not John Harbaugh. It's not Zach Taylor. Mike Tomlin's had a really good year, believe it or not. It's not what's going on in Houston. Sean Payton's an interesting case. I wonder if he has one of the best teams in the league. It's not Pete Carroll. It's not Jim Harbaugh. It's not Dayball. It's not Quinn. It's not Campbell. When you look at it, I think there's three names. Legitimately three names. Mike Vrabel, Shane Steichen, and Duval. And I did some research. You can go over to 985thesportsup.com. Mike Vrabel, Coach of the Year odds. What are his chances of getting some hardware? Thank you, Matt Doloff, for writing that for me. Shout out to him and our digital team, Ty, Alex, all those guys. Who's been the best coach through 6 weeks, everybody? Do you know who the betting favorite was at the beginning of the year? Skaz, I'll bring you in. Do you know who the betting favorite was to start the season to be Coach of the Year? And let me just tell you, I don't really care about hardware, but when you suck for a long time, you need some hardware, right? I heard Malcolm Brogdon, 6th Man of the Year. Remember him? He retired today. That was some hardware, right? That was a flex during a championship. Well, the year before a championship season, right? So I like hardware. When you suck, you want hardware. Do you know who the favorite was, guys, at the beginning of the year?
I mean, I don't off the top of my head. I would guess it was someone like a Ben Johnson, someone like a Kyle Shanahan, Sean Payton maybe.
It was Mike Vrabel.
It was Mike Vrabel?
Yeah. Going back to the beginning of the year, and again, you can check this out at 985thesportsup.com. Yeah, Mike Vrabel was the betting favorite at the beginning of the year. As of today, Coach of the Year, Shane Steichen plus 250. That's heavy. And I don't think you're going to, unless they continue to win. If they win 10 games, they start out like 9-1 or something, that odd will go down. Shane Steichen is your rookie, right now your Coach of the Year. Mike Vrabel comes in second at plus 500. Liam Cohen plus 750. That is a three-headed race. The next closest is Kyle Shanahan, Ben Johnson, and Todd Bowles at plus 1,400. And then Mike Tomlin comes in at plus 1,600. So, Skaz, I ask you, who would you pick today if the season was ended today? You had a vote. Who would be your coach of the year?
Oh, boy. I mean, Vrabel certainly has a case. He absolutely has a case. I'd probably still give it to the guy in Indy, though.
Me too.
Right now, 5-1.
Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
Who the hell had Daniel Jones? They drafted Anthony Richardson in the first round.
Hasn't worked out.
But you bring in a coach that's had success who brings in his own guys, right? Did he fix Daniel Jones? Is it the running game that helps him out more? Is it the offensive line? Like, what is it about Indy that's different this year? The only thing I can say is competent quarterback play and a great running game and a good offensive line. I mean, is their defense great? They got some guys, right? I mean, they're all right. But remember when we were laughing about the Colts with Sam Ehlinger and Jeff Saturday was the coach once? Like, am I a believer in the Colts? No. But I think Michael Pittman's very good. I think Josh Downs and Alec Pierce can play some ball. I think O'Donnell Mitchell's very good. They got Quentin, man. Oh, is that what it is? Is there an owner bump? You know, they obviously, he's passed away and his daughter's now taken over. But is it the drafting of Tyler Warren? Or is it Jonathan Taylor? I just look what they're doing there and I say, coach of the year right there. What about your boy at Duval? I mean, I'm kind of, are you shocked? The Jaguars are 4-2? I am a little bit. I always liked Liam Cohen, though. I got to admit that.
Local guy.
I always thought maybe the Pats should consider him, too.
I mean, Seahawks have been good, too. The Jags just lost to the Seahawks. There's another guy who's had a good year.
McDonald's in the conversation.
Michael McDonald.
Keep forgetting, not in love. Oh. I can't help that. I'm sorry. I don't remember we played the Regulators beat to that.
Oh, yeah.
That was a banger.
It's in the rotation now.
Literally a banger. Oh, so good. But just looking at some of these odds, and again, over at 985thesports.com, this was the write-up I had. Who's had the best coach in the NFL? Who is the best coach through 6 weeks? The betting favorite to start the year was Mike Vrabel of the Patriots. He was plus 600 at the time. The team's off to a 4-2 start. First place in the AFC East. And Vrabel won the award back in 2021. The team with the best record in the AFC is the Colts, as we mentioned, Shane Steichen. Currently the betting favorite at 250. Second-year Colts has the Colts. Coach has the Colts leading the AFC South. Big part of the turnaround there of Daniel Jones and quarterback. And Liam Cohen, as we mentioned. Colts and Jaguars are going to battle each other out in the division. So I feel like they'll decide a winner there, while if Vrabel continues to win in the AFC East, would that seal the deal for Mike Vrabel? Especially with Buffalo being the Super Bowl favorite in the AFC this year and projected to dominate the division for the years to come. The upcoming schedule for the Patriots is favorable. And getting odds right now at plus 500 might be the best number that you can get. Mentioned a few other considerations. Todd Bowles in Tampa Bay, plus 14. That one looks good. And we mentioned this last night. The Bucs are doing this without Godwin, Evans, and Bucky Irving. What's going to happen when they get those guys back? Mike Tomlin and the Steelers are 4-1. Aaron Rodgers, the clear leader in that clubhouse. And AFC North. His odds sit at plus 1,600. Look what Kyle Shanahan's doing for the 49ers and all the injuries that they have. He's kept the team in contention, and especially what he's done with Mac Jones. Should put him in the conversation at plus 1,400. How about Ben Johnson with a big win the other night for Chicago? He'll be in play in the NFC North if they make the playoffs. So just looking at these numbers here, my bet, it's Mike Vrabel at plus 500. Schedule's easy. Drake May's ascension, maybe winning the AFC East. Mentioned the Duval and the Colts, they're going to battle each other out. I think it's Mike Vrabel all the way, but I don't necessarily care about hardware. But when you've sucked for so long, you need a flex every once in a while. Jesse, he's in Easton. What's up, Jesse?
Hey, before I say a word, how do I sound today? Because the other day my phone just completely betrayed me.
Oh, you're good, bro.
Awesome. So, question number one on Drake May. If you had to draft a NFL team for the next decade, would he be the number one pick right now? And number two, I just wanted to explain myself from the other night, the whole Tatum thing. I'm not comparing them as players. I'm comparing how we feel as fans watching the two of them ascend to stardom. I'm hoping that makes more sense. Thank you. I'll hang up and listen.
Okay. Now I have to think. So just so I get that point of view, I guess, he thinks the emergence of Tatum with the Celtics we can equate to Drake May to the Patriots?
I took it more as like the fan perspective of getting to watch a player on your team become a superstar.
I get it. Do you feel that way?
I think Drake May is ascending into that, category, that sphere. I wouldn't quite put him there yet, but I certainly think he's on his way.
You know why I won't compare it? The Celtics drafted Jaylen Brown the year before.
Yeah, Tatum went head-to-head with LeBron as a rookie and was like dunking on him in the playoffs and stuff.
Like, Jaylen Brown was the controversial pick. It wasn't Tatum.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown's the one who helped them ascend to a championship. Jason Tatum gets all the accolades, right?
Well, not finals MVP.
Oh, is that why he wants to come back this year, Jason? Well, we'll get into that. All right, fine. Your comparison, buddy. I appreciate you calling, Jesse. You validated yourself. What was the other thing he said? I don't remember the guy who called last night about the pitcher for the Reds. Hey, Joe, what do you think about it? I didn't care at all. I cared about dinner. You know why? Because the Red Sox aren't going after that guy. Sometimes when people ask me a question that I just don't think is going to happen, I just ask something else because it's not worth our time.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the same guy, but someone did call into the afternoon show and say they should trade Yoshida and Duran for Hunter Green, which I think you would get not even laughed off the phone. I can't even express what they would probably do to you for sending that offer, but yeah.
Here's one thing I'll say about the night show. Skaz, every show plays our content, which I love. I love. Thank you. So the ratings aren't great, but you know what? Everyone's listening somehow, some way. So please come over. We're here every night. Come listen to us. You know what? If you just need the goods on the other shows, I understand that. But listen to us too. I mean, last night we were doing Arby's talk. It was some serious stuff. And then we got breaking news from Alex Bregman to interrupt the whole thing, damn it.
Yeah, Stephen A. really got bumped
and then we couldn't even celebrate Stephen A.'s birthday. Could you believe that? We couldn't play the Stephen A. clips. We couldn't talk about Tootie. We couldn't do the always drops.
Always.
It really just took away from all the content and all the fun, damn it. We got a guy named Bam on the line. Hey, Bam.
Joe, what's up, brother? Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm pretty sure I hurt Toucher and Hardy's feelings last time I called. I said, I enjoy you doing the morning show and what you do. I tried to email Hardy. He didn't reply back. I'm sure I hurt a lot of feelings. But my question is, I actually have two questions for you. Do you feel like Vrabel is treating like this Titans game coming up like a rival, almost like Belichick treated the Jets? And also, I did some homemade mac and cheese. We're about to do some grilled cheese mac and cheese sandwiches. I just want to hear your word about that.
Well, there's a lot going on there, Bam. Thank you very much. I'll start with the Mike Vrabel. I think Mike Vrabel knows that this is a tough spot 3 travel weeks in a row. I think he knows that. I also think he knows the players want to back him, and this is why I brought up trust earlier. I think the players want to back him, and I think all the intangibles, 3 weeks in a row, fired coach bump, all that. I think all those things are off the table because they're all rallying around him at this point. So is he treating it like that? I think he's treating it like that, yes, because I think he wants the guys to be focused. Don't win it for the Gipper. Win it to get better every week because the team does have some issues. And I think, the 4-2 start's great, but they still need to get better every week. And I hate to bring up the Brady knowing his 8-0 team wasn't great, but Vrabel's been there too. And I think Vrabel knows where they're at. So although they're leading the AFC East in first place and they got a pretty easy schedule ahead, they still need to get better. And I think that's the big focus there. As far as the mac and cheese, grilled cheese, wow. In my head, I thought of a grilled cheese with mac and cheese on top. Are you talking about making a grilled cheese and then stuffing the mac and cheese inside it? Have you ever done that, Skaz?
I have not, Joe.
That's mind-blowing to me.
I'm not a cheese guy.
You don't eat cheese, but imagine making a mac and cheese and then slicing it open, throwing the mac and cheese in there.
I mean, it sounds great.
I would like some crumble on it, maybe. All right, we'll get into that later, and we'll do that another time.
That's post-game.
Yeah, that's post-game. Josh is in the car. Josh.
Hey, Joe, what's going on? Love the show. Listen all the time. I don't get to listen to that much during the day, but I got to listen for a few minutes today, and they did a 20-minute segment on your interview with Lift Shots last night. So you're right. People are listening, Joe.
Well, thank you. What was it? Was it about how Lift Shots torched literally everybody in the that thinks the Patriots, and we all need to pump the brakes on how good they are?
Oh, Joe, they broke it down point by point by what you in your interview last night, like segment by segment, question by question, and then had a 5-minute follow-up dialogue on how he's right about the injuries and everything else you guys talked about last night. I felt like I was listening to the same thing in a time machine.
Well, you know what, Josh? Thank you for validating us. Thank you. Thanks. I didn't hear it. Maybe I'll go back to the podcast and listen. But stay here. Because we're here for another hour or so. Jake's in Andover. Jake.
Hey, Joe. So, first my question, I know it's a little bit off topic with the Bruins. So, we're obviously believing in the Patriots with this 4-2 start. Is it true or is it not? So, my question is I've been as you know, a perpetual Don Sweeney hate club president. Can we actually believe in this Bruins start? And secondly, as you know, I've been in New Jersey for the past 3 years. I just moved back to the North Shore. Can I trust Londy's that just opened up in North Andover? I had no idea there's a Londy's in North Andover. Is that place reputable, and can I trust it from the OG of Londy's?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. When I think of the Bruins, though, I haven't thought about Don Sweeney. I've been thinking about Marco Sturm and the defense and how it's going to help the goaltending, and maybe David Pastrnak is the leader because Marco Sturm said he's the leader, but they didn't give him the captain, but he's the leader. So, Don Sweeney hasn't fallen into that yet. So I said this to Skaz the other night. I don't hate watch the Bruins right now. I'm not hate watching yet. Yet. I mean, they won the other night. We took calls all night. It was beautiful. Not there yet, but hey, they're on a nice little road. They've been in Vegas for 2 nights. If I do 2 nights in Vegas, I need to go home. So I don't even know what the betting line is tomorrow night, guys, but I very much favor Vegas. Very much. They're going to be 3 days in Vegas for a game? Woof. Woof. I got to find the line out on that one. Maybe Swayman's in net finally, because he wasn't the other night. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll hit the headline. I'm Joe Murray, and I do want to get into the Alex Bregman opt-out. And there's projections on where he could end up. I got a thought on this. I want to bring this one up. We got into it a little bit last night. We'll do that next. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports. personally, it's my own opinion, considering a road trip was ahead. But Joseph. What's up, Joseph?
Hello.
Hey.
I just wanted to thank you, Joe Murray. I talked to you about Christmas trees. My family bought the Ingalls Christmas tree farm last year and told you that I'd have no problem taking care of you for a Christmas tree. But the reason why I called is my father, Mike Palausi, coached hockey for high school and afterwards at the CYO in Providence and brought them to the championships. But the reason we're calling you is, Joe, is your integrity and honesty and compassionateness is equal to Bobby Orr and Andy Brickley and Sophia Yerkstovich. And
thank you.
I do agree that the Boston Bruins have some things to work on, but I do have full confidence in Marco Sturm. Thank you.
Joe, thank you for your service. I did not play hockey, but I did skate at the Badgeco ice skating rink in Hyde Park. I went on the little kids' rink with the milk crate. And then I went on to the big skate. I couldn't skate that well. And then I decided I'm going to play basketball. That's what happened with that one. Andy's on the road. What's up, Andy?
Joe Murray, how are you, my friend?
Oh, it is the king of roast beefs himself, Andy Ferg. How are you, sir?
First of all, this is the best show on the station.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You do a great job. I don't get to listen often enough because I'm not often in my car at night, but it's always wonderful. But I'm driving along tonight, and I hear someone call and ask you a question about Londy's roast beef in North Andover.
Yes. Now, I know the one in Peabody is fantastic.
Yes. Here's the thing. Here's a little inside pool about Londy's roast beef.
Oh, boy.
They were all opened by the man named Londy, Ted Londy, the legend. He opens them and runs them for a while, and they're fantastic. And eventually, he either, probably sells them. The North Andover one he sold last year. It is not it anymore.
So it's a same name, different beef?
Very much so, Joe. Very much so. Peabody is the location you want to go to get a Londy's legit beef.
So do we call that perpetrating? What do we call that?
I don't know. It's tomfoolery is what it is.
Yeah, because it's like, hey, go to Santarpio's, but it's not the Santarpio's that you know of, right?
Exactly. A bunch of these shops have many, many locations owned by different people, and the quality varies based on location and who owns it. It's crazy.
Hey, you guys have great T-shirts there, because it's always, some days are a bad day to be a beef. They just are. But
that's true.
What day do you avoid getting a beef?
The slowest day is probably Monday in the beef world. So Monday evening might be old beef from the lunch rush, or Monday lunch might be old beef from Saturday if they're closed on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Beef's expensive, man. You can't waste it. So you gotta,
So we have old beef and perpetrating beef.
We got a lot of beef, Joe.
Go check out North Shore Beefs. Andy, appreciate you, buddy.
Love you, Joe.
Thank you. That's Andy Ferg. He's the Beef King, everybody. Go check. He does a podcast too, F Buddies. Go check that out. We're now perpetrating beefs. Alex Bregman, everybody. He opted out of his contract. Generally, when you hear opt out, you think he's gone. At least I did. I'm thinking about it a little bit here. I have some Alex Bregman numbers I wanted to share real quick. Alex Bregman, pre-injury, okay? I got this from Brian Barrett of The Ringer. Pre-injury, he had 226 plate appearances. His batting average was .299. He had an OBP of .385, slugging .553, and an OPS .938. He had 11 home runs pre-injury. Post-injury, so he had 226 at-bats pre-injury. Post-injury, his batting average was .250. 338 OBP, 386 slugging, 724 OPS. He had 7 home runs. It's a dramatic difference. He's now going to be entering his age 32 season. Like, what's the contract length really going to be on this thing? Bookies.com, they had an article, and I wrote one today at 98.5thesportshub.com, but they referenced somewhat of a projection, I would say, more than like betting odds. But when it came down to it, they have a percentage that there's a 28.6% that he'll come back to the Red Sox. So they did that at about plus 250 odds. They think the Cubs at plus 550 could be the next team, and the LA Angels are going to be looking to spend some money, and they want some leadership. They had Yohan Moncada this year. So I think he's a free agent now, so they're looking for a third baseman. The Mets are in the mix. The Tigers, to me, at 11% is probably the place, unless it's Houston. So the Red Sox at the moment do not have Devers or Bregman. They could go with Marcelo Meyer at third base or Nate Eden or whoever they want there. Romy Gonzalez, I don't know. But removing Bregman would be a loss for a team that won 89 games. But that relationship with manager Alex Cora, that's something Skaz mentioned last night. It was one of the reasons why Bregman signed in Boston. Maybe it's one of the reasons why he returns next year. I think Houston would be interested in Bregman, especially with his success at that park. A.J. Hinch, his former manager, is in Detroit. Bregman was close to signing with Detroit before going to Boston. Here are the free agent options I think the Red Sox should be interested in. Eugenio Suarez of Seattle, they were interested in him at the trade deadline. He's going to get big bucks, especially what's going on with Seattle. And I think Japanese star Munetaka Murakami, I think that's somebody the Red Sox could be interested in. He's already linked to the Dodgers, though. Red Sox were interested in Suarez. Murakami's an interesting prospect. He had 56 home runs in 2022. He plays both third and first base. I think they should be in on him. If they have money, why not throw $200 million at a guy that maybe has a higher ceiling? Either way, the Red Sox don't have Rafael Devers or Alex Bregman at the moment. And I know people are hyped from them going to the playoffs. They don't have a first baseman. They don't have a second baseman. They don't have a third baseman, and their shortstop could opt out. Yeah, the sky's falling, everybody. There has to be something more to this Bregman thing. But at the same time, I think he's being advised to see what his worth is on the market, and I think the Red Sox are open to that. But trading Devers, signing him, and coming away with nothing would be a really bad look for the Boston Red Sox. We'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. Tom Brady gave his 5 best teams in the NFL. I wanted to get into that. Could the Patriots be in on the trade market as well? And I got some betting odds for you that you don't want to miss as we take you up until 7:30. Then we'll hand things off to Grandy and Max. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Zolak and Bertrand. Felger and Maz. Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, a lot going on, everybody. You got the Celtics and wrapping up their preseason. Their full lineup tonight. You can catch all the action right here. 7:30, Grandy and Max on the call. The Patriots injury reports out. A couple players did not participate. Jalen Hawkins, Anthony Jennings, and Harold Landry. He's dealing with an ankle injury. The Red Sox have 3 Gold Glove finalists. Wilyer Abreu, Cedon Rafaela, and Carlos Narvaez. And at the MLB playoffs, Seattle looks to take a 3-0 lead versus Toronto. Headlines, they are brought to you by our good friends. And, of course, they are our good friends over at Eastern Mass's leader in drain cleaning and pipe blending. Drains by James. Slow drain, clog drain. You need to contact Drains by James today at drainsbyjames.com. I'm Joe Murray. Back here on 98.5 Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We're here till 7:30, and then Grandy and Max will take over. It's the final preseason game for the Celtics. I got some Celtic stuff, so stay tuned for that. Just did some Alex Bregman stuff. I don't know what's going to happen there. If you opt out of that type of money, just I don't know if Detroit offers 3 and 35. Are the Red Sox going to match? I don't think they will. Like, I want the Red Sox to be relevant. This was fun this year, right? It was fun. Baseball was good again. We were talking pitching matchups and, you know, lefty versus righty, and they left this guy in too long, and you know, all that. It was good this year. The Red Sox and the Yankees being in the playoffs was good for the game. And I love how we're watching new blood, right? We're watching Seattle and Toronto. Right, Toronto dominated the 90s. Seattle had his run, but have they ever been there? Can't remember now if they have. They never won it, I don't believe. I know the Dodgers are the Dodgers, and they're dominating. Wow. Another dominating performance last night. But just, it's refreshing with seeing some new teams, but it's also good when it's Red Sox and Yankees. And right now, they don't have Devers or Bregman. And really, I don't even know what their infield looks like if Trevor Story opts out. But hey, they got 3 Gold Glove candidates, everybody. Whee! Did want to just get back to some football stuff. I mentioned the Titans and what's going on there. Dysfunction everywhere. Amy Adams-Strunk is the inherited owner of Bud Adams. Her tenure has not been good. She's fired John Robinson. She fired Mike Vrabel. She's fired Rand Carthon. She fired Brian Callahan. And who's next? Literally, I don't know who would want to go into that situation. Also brought up Mike Vrabel's Coach of the Year odds. Right now, I think he's going to win the award. So if you can get it at plus 500, I'd do it right now. It's probably the best odds you can get. The reason for my analysis on that, by the way, is that Liam Cohen and Shane Steichen, they're going to compete against each other. One of them's going to knock one of them out. But if Vrabel wins the AFC East and can be the top seed of the AFC, bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam, he'll be the Coach of the Year. As easy as that. Remember Tom Brady? He's an analyst now. He's doing stuff at Fox. I've asked everybody who's the best team in the AFC. Who are the best teams in the NFL? Let's hear from Tom Brady.
All right, everyone, buckle up, because if week 6 is any indication, we're in for an insane NFL season. We're about to throw records out the window. 10 through 6, it's New England, Seattle, Kansas City, Philadelphia, and Denver. The game I called in Baltimore this weekend isn't going down as the most beautiful football game ever played, but the Rams defense did what you're supposed to do against a backup quarterback. You don't complain about wins on a cross-country road trip, and LA climbs up to number 5. Detroit, falls to 4 after dropping 1 in primetime at Arrowhead. I know Chiefs and Eagles fans might have something to say looking at their teams a few spots back, but this isn't math class. The transitive property does not apply to football. Green Bay was led by Josh Jacobs in the ground game with 2 tutties, which will continue to open things up for Jordan Love and the rest of that offense. They sit at number 3 this week. I'll be honest, I didn't see this one coming. Daniel Jones and the Colts are number 2. They haven't faced many real challenges on the schedule, but 5-1, it's hard to ignore. Tell the truth, you didn't see this one coming either. And at number 1, yep, that's right, it's shake and bake time in Tampa. This whole top 10 could be shuffled in a lot of ways, but the one thing you can't argue is the Bucs are deserving of the top spot. Now let's get the wide receiver room healthy. I'm in Dallas Sunday for Commanders vs. Cowboys on America's Game of the Week on Fox.
Top 5 teams. I think I saw 2 AFC teams in there. The Patriots come in at 5. So Tom Brady is the Patriots at 5.
10.
Sorry, 10. Whoa. My bad. What did you think of that list, Skaz?
Yeah, I mean, it's week 6. It's fine. I'm not a power rankings guy per se.
Well,
but
weren't we doing that last year with the quarterbacks?
Yeah, that was quarterback weekly rankings.
That's when we were doing our weekly articles.
That might have been 2 years ago, Joe.
Yeah. I've been getting the Skaz. I missed being an analyst when it comes to betting, and Lift Shots last night, literally a blowtorch to everything.
The Lift Shots hurricane.
But I just want you to know that that's why the Bankroll Boys prevailed for 8 years, and that's why I still want Dan on the show. We need Skaz. We're here every day, man. We sometimes need the guy who listens to every show with a different opinion. That's why we get intern Markin on here. When the Bruins are going, he's going to be giving his takes. We're going to be slinging. Sometimes I need a fresh perspective. He had it. Is Tom Brady a fresh perspective, though?
I think from like a broader league perspective, yeah, I think he's pretty unbiased when it comes to, he has the Colts up there. He's got, Bucks. I mean, maybe you could say he's not unbiased with the Bucks at 1, but Patriots at 10, I'll take it.
Is it fair to say that maybe the Patriots and Bucks are the darlings right now?
The Colts, 5-1.
Yeah, but are they a darling? Like, if we all doubt them. We doubt the Jags. Someone's going to have to win between those two. I mean, unless the Texans come along. Does C.J. Stroud want to run more? Because I know he said he's not interested in that anymore.
Yeah, he was upset with his athleticism. Said he was watching old clips and couldn't believe how athletic he looked. It happens to all of us.
Yeah, I wonder how Justin Fields feels about that. He was sacked 9 times, bro. By the way, Patriots -7 this week versus the Titans. It's the largest spread in the Drake May era. Did you know that? I didn't, actually. May 2-0 against the spread as a favorite of more than 3 points. I hate to tell you this, but I think they absolutely blow doors of the Titans this week. And this is reverse betting now. This is me fading myself.
You're the big coach was just fired guy.
Do you want the numbers? Because I got them.
Please.
And it's funny because Alex Barth and I were texting back and forth about this today. Because it's just facts. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you here in case you guys really need the numbers. It's real, everybody. And you got to use week 13 because once someone's fired after week 10, it's all just kind of a different beast. You know what I mean? You can't really give that analysis at this point. But here we go. Here's the breakdown of the coaches from 2010 to 2024. Interim head coaches in their first game were 17-15 on the money line, but 20-12 against the spread. Interim head coaches who made their debut prior to week 13 were 11-4 on the money line and 11-4 against the spread. Those who made their debut from week 13 to 18 were 6-11 and 9-8 against the spread. So it's still successful against the spread no matter what. Interim head coaches whose first game were at home, 7-6 money line, 9-4 against the spread. When their first game was at home and prior to week 13, 2-3, 3-2 against the spread. favors the underdog this week. Cam Ward, remember when Jabril Peppers called the Patriots ass? Hey, we ass. Cam Ward literally said after their loss last week, we ass. I couldn't believe that. Like, just at a press conference, man, we ass right now. Always. Like, the number 1 overall pick. Warren Moon had to call him and be like, bro, I gave you number 1. You got to be a better leader. That's what's going on right now in Tennessee. Bad place out there right now. Oh, I do think that the Patriots should be in the market at the trade deadline. You know, some of the names I'm hearing out there are all AFC East guys. Breece Hall's one of them. Jalen Phillips of the Dolphins would be a nice little player coming off the injuries too, but I just don't think the Dolphins and the Jets are going to trade with the Patriots. But let me give you a name, Skaz. Tell me what you think. I mentioned it to Doug Kide the other night, but it's a guy that was a fantastic college player, and maybe people projected him to be like a great NFL player, but he's been really solid as like just a good backup. But for me, it's a running back. It's Samaje Perine out of Oklahoma. He only has 15 carries on the year, but he averages 4.5 per carry. He's in Cincinnati. He was with the Chiefs last year, helped them win a championship. He's been in the league for a long time. I just think as a third back, he's older, he's experienced, he's trustworthy, he's 240 pounds, he can run in the cold weather. I just feel like he's insurance for, TreVeyon Henderson for that matter, and he doesn't fumble the football. Now, he does have one fumble this year, and he did lose it, but generally, he doesn't fumble the football historically. So I just feel like running backs can come and go, but I feel like he's a valuable veteran that teams that have playoff aspirations like a guy like him, and it couldn't cost them much, right? Like, would the Bengals swap a 5th rounder, 6th rounder? Would they do it? Yeah. And the Patriots have already made swaps for that. You know what I want to get into tomorrow night, Skez? I want to dig back into the 2024 Patriots draft. We made a big deal about the Patriots trading Joe Milton because of the easy runway for Drake May. I'd like to have a take retraction, maybe. Is that okay? Or maybe a developing take on that? Because I think there's 2 players remaining from the 2024 draft. One hasn't played all year. The other is in the MVP conversation of the league. I just would like to revisit that. So we'll take a quick break here. We got the Celtics coming up in just a little bit. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Up? I'm Joe Murray. A lot going on tonight. We got the Celtics coming up, their final preseason game. I'm interested to see some things in the Celtics. Skaz, when's the Green Teamers? I know that you stoked some fires out there. I know that you guys are, you just filled the propane tank. You don't know if you're going to go propane or wood fire or charcoal. I know you guys are still wondering who's going to, how you're going to burn it up this year when it comes to the Green Teamers. But what's the Green Teamers vibe like going into the final preseason game?
Yeah, I think I think everyone kind of knows what this year is, but I think it's still optimistic. You're going to find out a lot about Jaylen Brown and Joe Mazzulla this year. Not that you didn't already know a lot about Jaylen Brown, but you're going to learn more about him as a number one option, what he does when he faces the defensive assignments that Tatum usually draws, the double teams, the switch coverages, all that stuff. And I think it is truly a big year for Joe Mazzulla. How does he adapt to this less talented roster? What style of play? It seems like they're going to be up-tempo, still shoot a ton of threes. I know that's something that's been brought up multiple times from what I've heard in some of his pregame press conferences. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting year for Celtics fans. Obviously, it's not championship or bust, which has been kind of their mantra the last few seasons when fully healthy. But I think this team has, they should still win 45-ish games, be threatening for the playoffs. And if you get Jason Tatum back in late March, let's see what happens.
I'm going to wait until the night before tip-off for that pick. But I agree with you. I also agree that I don't think they're winning a championship this year. Now, that's not to be a wet blanket. That's not to say, Joe, Joe, you were leading the charge for years. Yes, I was. I don't love what happened this offseason. I understand it. I don't want to deal. I don't want to. Guys playing the way he wants without any of the expectation. Yes, I do. Do I think they're going to go over 40 wins? I do. Do I think they're trying some guys out to see if they can stick or maybe be worth some value in trade? Yes. But I don't think they're winning a championship this year. And that's even if Jason Tatum comes back. Now, things could change. But as of October 15th, I don't feel that way. So, Skaz, I figured I'd ask you a couple of questions just out of the gate here. The Celtics end the preseason tonight. One person who does not like the preseason is Joe Mazzulla. Joe Mazzulla, not a fan of the preseason game, says he'd rather have no preseason games and practice every day. He hates preseason games. He didn't stop there. He was asked why he feels that way. He said, at the end of the day, it's a preseason game. To me, you come in here and you practice and you work. The idea is to try to make the preseason game as close to practice as you can because you're always going through things. Who's on a minutes restriction? Who may be sitting out? Trying to save yourself in the regular season. All those things which are important. So most NBA teams play, 4 to 6 preseason games? The Celtics had 4. They're 2-1. They play their final one tonight. Do you think any of these guys made a name for themselves this offseason? Or preseason?
No. A name for themselves? No.
Okay. My analysis from working these games, I've been disappointed in Jordan Walsh. Former first-round pick. Had a little injury. I can't remember if it was like oblique, something to that degree, or ribs, something there. He's missed 2 games, and like that, these games are important to him. That's disappointing to me. You know who else has been disappointing? Baylor Shireman. Hasn't been shooting the ball well. But how much can I get out of this preseason with him? Do you know who I'm positive on? Josh Minot. I think he could be the X factor.
Let's not get crazy, Joe.
I mean, where's the bar? Tell me where the bar is and tell me
if he's a solid player, great. X factor, a little strong.
X factor, I think he can play the 4.
I think Boucher's been good.
So that was my other one. I think Boucher. Now, the other night, they went Boucher, Brown, Hauser, White, Pritchard. Could that be their starting 5? And we went over those Boucher numbers the other night, right? He's never, hardly ever come off the bench as a starter.
He's never really started.
He's only ever come off the bench. So would you just slide Keita in?
Well, tonight it's Pritchard, White, Brown, Boucher, Keita.
Double big.
Which is... You're going to get New York early. You play Philly on opening night. They're going to need some size early.
Did you say Hauser's not in the starting lineup?
Not in the starting lineup. Hauser Party, not for one.
Do you think Hauser Party should start or come off the bench this year?
I think Joe's going to be really matchup dependent. And for me, it's not really so much about who starts. It's more who finishes these games. Starting five doesn't mean nearly as much as it once did in the NBA. But yeah, I would, Pritchard for Hauser is a move I would make at times. Or if you want to slide Boucher to the five and have Minot in there and take Pritchard out and put Hauser in or something like that. I'm not sold on Peyton Pritchard, the starter, yet.
Okay. I think Keita starting is what's best for the team and Boucher off the bench. I do like that lineup of Hauser, Brown, Pritchard, White. Just 4 wings running with a big. Ooh, I like that. Who's the first big off the bench? If it is Boucher and Keita.
Your guy, Joe Garza.
Man, I might have to get my Iowa shirt, dust that bad boy off. Xavier Tillman.
He lost some weight. Looks a little more athletic.
I'm telling you right now, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Josh Minot is going to be my guy this year.
X Factor.
Josh Minot. That's my guy. But I have been disappointed in Baylor Shireman. I thought more.
I would co-sign that. He has been a disappointment.
But in a way, is Missoula doing any? Like, if he doesn't care, is it good for any of these guys? Oh, by the way, what was the trade they made for R.J. Luis? What was that trade again? Was that George Niang? Was that what that was? How'd that work out?
Yeah, it was 2 second-round picks and Georges Niang.
For who?
R.J. Lewis Jr., who was waived earlier today.
So they got rid of Niang? 2 seconds. Guys!
I think that's a good move. Just dumping assets.
Just dumping everything. Remember they used to keep all those picks? Wonder what Danny Ainge would feel about that one.